Ladies and gentlemen, life is full of noise, distractions, and endless demands. Yet, the path to a meaningful life is quiet, steady, and often solitary. Today, I want to share 7 truths that can guide us to live a life that truly matters. You control your mind. This is one of the most important truths anyone can understand about life. Everything that happens outside of you, the events, the people, the circumstances, can only affect you if you allow it to. The external world does not have power over your peace, your happiness, or your judgment. It is your mind, your thoughts, your choices, and your perception that shape your experience of life. Many people spend their lives reacting to what happens around them, believing that life is happening to them, that circumstances are controlling them. But the truth is, no one can take away your mind unless you hand it over. When you realize this, you begin to see freedom in every moment. You are free because your mind is always yours. When something goes wrong, when someone insults you, when you face failure or loss, it is easy to feel powerless. You might think that someone else has caused your pain, or that the situation is unfair. But the pain is not in the event itself, it is in your judgment of the event. If your mind interprets it as harmful, you suffer. If your mind interprets it as neutral, you remain calm. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending nothing happened. It means understanding that your power lies in how you respond. You can train your mind to see what is within your control and what is not. And when you focus on what you can control, you are no longer at the mercy of the world. Control of the mind does not come instantly. It is not something you achieve once and keep forever. It is practiced every day, in small ways, through awareness and discipline. Every time you feel anger rising, you can pause and remind yourself that your reaction is yours to choose. Every time fear comes, you can acknowledge it, but not let it dictate your actions. Every time desire tempts you, you can consider whether it leads to your true goals or distracts you from them. By consistently noticing your thoughts and guiding them, you begin to see the power you always had but often forgot. Many people think freedom comes from changing the outside world, getting the right job, having money, achieving status, or gaining approval. These things can make life easier, but they do not make the mind free. The mind is only free when it does not depend on these external things for peace. True freedom comes from understanding that you can remain calm, steady, and clear-minded even in difficult situations. You do not need the world to align with your wishes to be at peace. When you control your mind, you are free from anxiety, from anger, from envy, and from endless frustration. Your thoughts shape your emotions. If your mind is restless, scattered, or clouded with worry, every situation will feel overwhelming. But if your mind is disciplined, clear, and focused, even challenging circumstances can be faced with strength. You can choose how to interpret events, how to act, and how to respond. You can decide whether to be angry, sad, or calm. You can decide whether to complain or to take meaningful action. This is the power of your mind. It is the place where life is truly lived. While you cannot control the actions of others or the twists of fate, you can control your own thoughts. In every moment, you have the ability to return to your center, to pause, and to act from reason rather than impulse. No one can give you this control. No one can take it from you if you hold it. It is not dependent on circumstances or external validation. It is entirely yours. Understanding this is not just a lesson, it is a practice. It is something you apply over and over until it becomes a natural way of living. You will stumble, you will lose focus, you will allow anger or fear to take over at times, but the key is to keep returning to the awareness that your mind is yours. Every moment offers a choice: to surrender your peace to events beyond your control, or to take it back by controlling your mind. Embrace challenges as growth. Life will never come without difficulties, obstacles, or setbacks. It is natural to wish for an easy path, to hope that everything goes smoothly, and that success comes without struggle. Yet, the truth is that challenges are not punishments or signs that life is against you. They are opportunities. Every difficulty, every moment of discomfort carries with it a lesson and a chance to grow stronger. When you face a challenge, you are given the chance to develop qualities that cannot be cultivated in comfort: patience, courage, resilience, and wisdom. Those who avoid challenges may feel safe, but they also remain weak, untested, and unprepared for the demands of life. Challenges are teachers, though they do not always come in gentle ways. When something goes wrong, when you fail, when someone betrays you, or when circumstances are harsh, your first reaction might be frustration, anger, or fear. These are natural feelings, but they are only useful if you use them to learn. If you complain, blame, or resist, the lesson is lost. But if you observe calmly, if you reflect on what is happening, if you look for the opportunity within the difficulty, then growth begins. Every challenge contains a hidden benefit, even if it is not immediately visible. The harder the challenge, the greater the opportunity to develop inner strength. It is important to remember that the world is not obligated to make things easy for you. Life is not designed to please you or to protect you from discomfort. Trying to avoid difficulties will only lead to more frustration because life will always present obstacles. Instead, approach challenges with acceptance and courage. Recognize that difficulties are part of the natural order of life. They come to all people, to the rich and poor, the strong and weak, the successful and unsuccessful. What matters is how you respond. By meeting challenges with composure and purpose, you train yourself to remain steady even in the most turbulent times. Facing challenges also teaches patience. Growth is never instant, and change is never immediate. You may struggle for days, months, or even years before you see the results of your effort. Patience is the ability to endure difficulty without being overwhelmed, to stay focused on what you can control, and to continue moving forward even when progress is slow. Each challenge you face and overcome builds patience, and patience builds resilience. Over time, you will find that no difficulty can shake you, no failure can defeat you, and no obstacle can stop you from acting wisely. Challenges also force you to examine yourself. When things go wrong, when you encounter failure or loss, you are confronted with your own weaknesses, fears, and limitations. This is not a reason to despair, it is a reason to learn. By acknowledging where you fall short, by understanding what holds you back, you gain the opportunity to improve. Every difficulty exposes a part of you that can be strengthened, and every trial is a chance to become more disciplined, more patient, more courageous, and more capable of facing the unpredictability of life. The greatest growth comes not from comfort or ease, but from struggle and effort. Success achieved without challenge is hollow. It does not teach the lessons of endurance or wisdom. Those who rise above difficulties carry with them not just the reward of success, but the strength, confidence, and knowledge that they can overcome adversity. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to expand your capacity for life, to deepen your understanding, and to refine your character. When you embrace challenges, you stop fearing them. You stop avoiding them. Instead, you see them as natural, as necessary, as valuable. You begin to approach life with courage, knowing that difficulties are not enemies, but allies in your development. You understand that every obstacle you overcome strengthens you, prepares you for what comes next, and brings you closer to becoming the person you are capable of being. Live with purpose, not opinions. Many people spend their lives chasing what others tell them is important. They follow trends, seek approval, or measure success by comparison. They worry about what people think, trying to fit in, impress, or gain recognition. Yet, living according to the judgments of others leads only to emptiness. When you make other people's opinions the measure of your life, you give away your freedom. You allow your happiness, your choices, and even your sense of self to depend on forces outside your control. A meaningful life is not shaped by applause, by status, or by approval. It is shaped by clarity about what truly matters to you, and the courage to act according to that understanding. Living with purpose begins with reflection. You must ask yourself what is essential, what aligns with your values, and what contributes to your growth and the good of those around you. This requires honesty and self-awareness. It is easy to think we know what we want, but often we adopt goals because they are familiar, popular, or expected. Real purpose comes when you examine your desires deeply and separate what is authentic from what is imposed by society, family, or peers. It is a constant process, not a single decision. Each day presents choices that test whether you are living according to your purpose or drifting with the opinions of others. When you live with purpose, every action has meaning. You no longer act impulsively or aimlessly. Even small tasks gain significance because they serve your larger goals. Each effort is aligned with what you value, each decision guided by your understanding of what matters most. Purpose gives direction to life. Without it, even achievements feel hollow, and even freedom feels empty. People may accumulate wealth, fame, or comfort, but without purpose, these things bring little satisfaction. Purpose is the compass that allows you to navigate the challenges of life, to stay grounded amid uncertainty, and to act with integrity regardless of external circumstances. Living with purpose also frees you from distraction. The world constantly pulls you in countless directions, through opinions, advice, trends, and pressures. If you allow these influences to dominate, your energy is scattered, and your mind is restless. Purpose acts as a filter. It helps you decide where to invest your time, attention, and effort. You learn to say no to what does not serve your goals, even if it seems popular or urgent. You develop focus, clarity, and discipline, because your choices are guided by what is meaningful, not by fleeting opinions or superficial desires. Purpose also strengthens resilience. When difficulties arise, when criticism comes, or when failure occurs, those without purpose may feel lost, confused, or defeated. But those with purpose understand that challenges are part of the journey, that obstacles are tests of commitment, and that setbacks do not erase the importance of their path. Purpose gives you the inner strength to endure hardship because your life is not dependent on comfort or approval. It is anchored in something deeper, something enduring, something entirely within your control. Finally, living with purpose encourages integrity. When you know what matters, you are less likely to act in ways that contradict your values. You no longer compromise your principles for temporary gain or approval. You make decisions based on what is right and meaningful, not what is convenient or socially acceptable. This builds character and earns a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your actions align with your values. By focusing on purpose rather than opinions, you reclaim control over your life. You direct your energy toward what matters most, face challenges with clarity, and navigate life with intention. You become less swayed by praise, criticism, or social pressures, and more guided by the principles that define you. Each day becomes an opportunity to act with meaning, to grow, and to live fully according to your own understanding of what matters. Accept reality as it is. Life does not unfold according to our wishes. Events happen that we cannot change, people act in ways we cannot control, and circumstances arise that test our patience and strength. To resist reality is to invite frustration, suffering, and disappointment. Many spend their lives wishing things were different, blaming others or circumstances, or trying to force the world into a shape that suits them. Yet, reality is not something to fight against. It is something to observe, understand, and accept. Acceptance does not mean passivity or resignation. It means recognizing what is beyond your control and focusing your energy on what you can influence. When you accept reality, you stop wasting time and energy on what cannot be changed. You stop arguing with the world, trying to bend it to your desires, and expecting outcomes that are not guaranteed. Instead, you focus on your own actions, your own thoughts, and your own responses. This is where true power lies. External events may challenge you, but your response is always within your control. By accepting reality, you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You become a master of your own mind, acting with clarity and purpose even in difficult situations. Acceptance also brings clarity. When you see the world as it is, rather than as you wish it to be, your choices become clearer, your priorities become sharper, and your actions become more effective. You can plan wisely, act rationally, and respond to challenges without being clouded by denial, anger, or fear. Those who refuse to accept reality often waste their lives reacting impulsively or chasing illusions. They struggle against what cannot be changed, and their efforts are scattered and ineffective. Acceptance allows you to see things as they are, and from that understanding, you can act with wisdom and precision. Accepting reality also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, and hardship is unavoidable. Health may fail, relationships may break, opportunities may vanish, and losses may occur. If you fight against reality, every difficulty feels unbearable. But if you accept what happens, You can meet challenges with composure, adapt to new circumstances, and find solutions instead of despairing. Acceptance strengthens your mind and equips you to handle adversity with grace. It allows you to bend without breaking, to endure without losing yourself, and to move forward even when the path is difficult. Acceptance requires self-awareness. You must recognize the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. Your thoughts, choices, and actions are within your power. The behavior of others, the twists of fate, and the course of events are not. By focusing on what is within your control and letting go of what is not, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You stop blaming, complaining, and resisting, and you start acting with wisdom, courage, and focus. This mindset transforms your relationship with life. Instead of feeling frustrated or helpless, you feel empowered. You no longer depend on the world to be fair, predictable, or comfortable. You understand that reality is neutral, and your judgments determine your peace and strength. When something goes wrong, you ask not why it happened, but how you can respond wisely. You meet each moment with clarity and intention, grounded in the understanding that acceptance is not weakness, but strength. Acceptance also cultivates gratitude. When you stop fighting reality, you begin to notice what is already good, what is already within your power, and what can be shaped by your effort. You see opportunities that were hidden behind resistance, and you appreciate the things that are stable and constant, even in a changing world. The more you accept, the more your mind is at peace, the more you are able to act with purpose, and the more resilient you become in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Practice self-discipline daily. Self-discipline is the foundation of a strong and meaningful life. Without it, even the best intentions are wasted, and even the greatest potential remains unrealized. Many people think freedom comes from indulging every desire, giving in to impulses, or avoiding effort. Yet true freedom comes from mastering yourself, controlling your desires, and acting with purpose. Self-discipline is the ability to choose long-term benefit over short-term pleasure, to act according to reason rather than emotion, and to remain steady even when temptations arise. It is the tool that allows you to turn intention into action, and action into results. Self-discipline begins with small choices. Every day presents countless opportunities to act with control or to surrender to impulses. Choosing to wake up early instead of sleeping longer, to work on a goal instead of procrastinating, to speak thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. All of these are exercises in discipline. Each small choice builds strength in your mind and character. It is not only the big decisions that shape your life, it is the accumulation of small, consistent acts of self-control. Over time, these choices form habits, and habits form the framework of a disciplined life. Discipline also means managing your desires and emotions. Life is full of distractions, temptations, and urges that can pull you away from your purpose. Without control, you are at the mercy of these impulses. By practicing self-discipline, you learn to pause, reflect, and choose your actions consciously. You develop the ability to delay gratification, to resist harmful behaviors, and to prioritize what truly matters. Emotions like anger, fear, or desire will always arise. But self-discipline allows you to observe them without being carried away. It gives you the power to act according to reason rather than instinct. Self-discipline strengthens resilience. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable in life. Those without discipline often give up, complain, or react destructively. But disciplined people endure, adapt, and continue moving forward despite difficulties. They understand that the mind and body are tools that require training and control. By consistently practicing discipline, you build mental and emotional strength that carries you through hardship. Each trial becomes not a reason to surrender, but an opportunity to reinforce your inner stability. Self-discipline is also the key to achieving long-term goals. Dreams and ambitions require effort, consistency, and focus. It is easy to start a project, to feel inspired, or to have a vision, but it is much harder to continue when motivation fades, obstacles appear, or the process becomes tedious. Discipline ensures that you keep moving forward, even when external encouragement is absent. It allows you to act steadily toward your goals, turning vision into reality. Without discipline, even the clearest purpose remains unrealized, and potential remains untapped. Discipline shapes character and earns respect, both from yourself and from others. When you act with self-control, you demonstrate reliability, consistency, and integrity. People learn that your word is trustworthy because it is backed by your ability to act intentionally and without weakness. More importantly, you earn the respect of yourself. You no longer feel powerless or driven by fleeting impulses. You gain confidence and inner strength because you know that you can rely on your own mind and will. Practicing discipline requires daily effort and conscious attention. It is not a one-time decision, but a continual process of refining your mind and actions. Each day offers countless opportunities to exercise discipline, to strengthen your character, and to build the habits that shape a meaningful life. By choosing self-control over impulse, patience over impatience, and effort over ease, you gradually transform your life from chaos to order, from weakness to strength, and from aimlessness to purpose. Find strength in solitude. In a world full of noise, opinions, and constant demands, the ability to be alone is one of the greatest strengths a person can cultivate. Many fear solitude because they confuse it with loneliness. Being alone does not mean being unhappy or isolated. It means having the clarity, independence, and inner stability to stand on your own. Solitude allows the mind to reflect, the heart to rest, and the spirit to grow. It is in moments of solitude that you confront yourself honestly, understand your true priorities, and gain the freedom to act according to your values, rather than the pressures of others. Solitude is a mirror. When you spend time alone, without distraction, you see yourself more clearly. You notice your strengths and weaknesses, your habits, your fears, and your desires. You become aware of where you act from impulse and where you act from reason. This awareness is the foundation of growth. Without solitude, it is easy to be carried along by the expectations of society, the advice of others, or the trends of the world. You may follow paths that are not your own, adopting goals and behaviors that do not align with your true self. Solitude gives you the space to consider what matters, to reflect on your purpose, and to make choices deliberately. Being alone also strengthens resilience. When you rely on others for your happiness, peace, or sense of worth, you are vulnerable to disappointment. People may fail you, circumstances may change, and support may disappear. But when you cultivate strength in solitude, your stability is not dependent on external factors. You learn to be content with your own company, to face challenges without fear, and to find peace within yourself. Solitude teaches self-reliance, which is essential for navigating life's uncertainties. The stronger you are in solitude, the less shaken you will be by the opinions, actions, or absence of others. Solitude allows you to develop focus and clarity. In silence, you can observe your thoughts, plan your actions, and make decisions free from distraction. The world constantly pulls your attention in many directions, through social media, news, entertainment, and endless demands. Without solitude, the mind becomes scattered, restless, and reactive. Regular periods of being alone help you cultivate mental discipline, sharpen your focus, and clarify your goals. In solitude, you can listen to your inner voice, which often speaks more clearly than the voices around you. Solitude also deepens creativity and insight. When you are alone, the mind is free to explore ideas without interruption, to consider possibilities without judgment, and to connect thoughts in ways that are often impossible in the constant presence of others. Many great insights, solutions, and personal breakthroughs occur in solitude because the mind has space to think deeply, reflect honestly, and act intentionally. By embracing solitude, you give yourself the gift of time to understand life more fully and to develop a perspective that is uniquely your own. Finally, strength in solitude builds inner peace. When you are comfortable alone, you are less dependent on praise, validation, or attention from others. You can live in accordance with your values, pursue your goals, and act with integrity without needing external approval. This independence brings freedom. You are free from the constant pull of others' opinions, free from comparison, and free from the fear of judgment. In solitude, you find a steady calm, a quiet confidence, and the power to act with reason and purpose in all circumstances. Cultivating solitude requires practice. It is not enough to occasionally be alone. You must learn to embrace it fully, to use it intentionally, and to find comfort in your own company. Over time, Solitude becomes a source of strength, clarity, and resilience, equipping you to face life with independence, wisdom, and courage. Focus on the present moment. Most people spend their lives dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. They replay mistakes, regrets, and failures, or they imagine what might happen tomorrow, creating anxiety, fear, and distraction. Yet the only time that truly exists is now. The past is gone and cannot be changed, and the future is uncertain and beyond control. What matters is this moment, this breath, this choice. By focusing on the present, you can act with clarity, intention, and effectiveness, rather than being trapped by memories or fears that have no power over your actions. Living in the present requires awareness. You must notice when your mind drifts to what has already happened or to what might happen. These thoughts are natural, but they are not where life is lived. Life happens in the now, and every action you take occurs in the present. When you are fully aware of this moment, you see your options clearly, you can respond wisely to circumstances, and you can act in alignment with your values. Awareness is the key that unlocks the power of the present, because without it, life slips by unnoticed, and your potential remains unrealized. Focusing on the present also brings efficiency. When the mind is preoccupied with past failures or future worries, energy is wasted on things that cannot be changed or controlled. This distraction weakens decision-making, slows action, and creates unnecessary stress. By giving your full attention to what is happening now, you direct your energy to what can actually be influenced. Each task, conversation, and decision is approached with clarity and focus. Time is used wisely, and your efforts have real impact, because they are grounded in what is within your control at this very moment. The present is also where virtue is practiced. Courage, patience, honesty, discipline, and wisdom cannot exist in the past or future. They exist in the choices you make right now. Each action you take in this moment shapes the person you become. If you neglect the present, you neglect the opportunity to act well, to improve yourself, and to make a difference. Every meaningful step, no matter how small, is taken in the present. By concentrating on this moment, you ensure that your life is built one deliberate action at a time, rather than on regrets, daydreams, or idle wishes. Focusing on the present also reduces fear and anxiety. Worry about the future is a natural human tendency, but it is often exaggerated by imagination, doubt, and uncertainty. When you bring attention back to the present, you recognize that many fears exist only in thought, not in reality. You see clearly what is happening, what needs to be done, and how you can respond. Anxiety loses its grip because it depends on imagining outcomes that are not yet real. The present moment offers control and opportunity, while dwelling on the future creates only uncertainty and stress. Mindfulness of the present also cultivates gratitude. When you pay attention to what is happening now, you notice what is already good, what is already within reach, and what you can act upon. Simple things, a conversation, a task completed, a breath taken, a choice made, become meaningful. Appreciation grows because you are no longer lost in what has passed or what may come. You see clearly what is real, immediate, and valuable. Gratitude, in turn, strengthens your mind, your mood, and your resilience, making it easier to face challenges and remain calm in adversity. Living fully in the present is a practice that requires effort and repetition. The mind will always wander, and distractions will constantly arise. Yet each time you notice your attention drifting and bring it back to the present, you strengthen your ability to live intentionally. The present moment becomes a place of power, clarity, and action, where choices are made with wisdom, effort is focused, and life is experienced deeply. Build a life of quiet courage. True courage is not loud or showy. It does not seek attention or praise. It is the steady strength that allows a person to act rightly, even when it is difficult, unpopular, or uncomfortable. Many people think courage is only displayed in dramatic moments, in acts of heroism or public bravery. But the courage that matters most is often quiet, unseen, and consistent. It is the courage to face life honestly, to take responsibility for your actions, to stand by your values, and to continue forward even when fear, doubt, or adversity arise. Quiet courage begins with self-awareness. You must know who you are, what you stand for, and what you are willing to endure. Without this clarity, courage becomes reckless or misplaced. When you understand your principles and your purpose, you can act decisively, even when external conditions are uncertain or challenging. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the ability to act despite fear. Every person encounters fear, fear of failure, rejection, loss, or the unknown. Quiet courage allows you to recognize that fear, accept it, and move forward anyway, because your actions are guided by reason, not emotion. Courage grows through practice. It is strengthened each time you confront a difficult situation, instead of avoiding it. Every challenge faced, every uncomfortable conversation undertaken, every risk taken with integrity adds to your inner strength. The small acts of courage, speaking honestly when it is easier to remain silent, persisting in a task when giving up seems simpler, controlling impulses instead of acting recklessly, accumulate over time. These small, repeated choices build a foundation of resilience and moral strength that carries you through larger trials and more significant challenges. Building a life of courage also requires discipline and self-control. It is not courage to act recklessly or without thought. It is courage to act wisely, even when it is hard. Discipline allows you to remain consistent, to choose actions aligned with your values, and to resist the temptation to take the easy or convenient path. Courage and discipline together create a life where decisions are deliberate, actions are purposeful, and character is strengthened by every choice made in accordance with your principles. Courage is also necessary for growth. To live fully, to pursue meaningful goals, and to embrace challenges, you must be willing to face uncertainty and discomfort. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens when you step beyond the familiar, take risks, and endure hardship. Quiet courage gives you the strength to leave the safety of the known, to confront your weaknesses, and to face obstacles without despair. It allows you to persevere when others give up, to continue learning when progress is slow, and to maintain hope when circumstances are discouraging. Courage is closely linked to integrity. It is the strength to act according to your values, even when it is inconvenient, unpopular, or misunderstood. Many compromise their principles to gain approval, avoid conflict, or achieve short-term benefit. Quiet courage allows you to resist these pressures. It ensures that your life is guided by reason, virtue, and purpose rather than fear or desire. This kind of courage builds trust, respect, and self-confidence, because you know that your actions are aligned with your true self. A life of quiet courage is lived steadily, moment by moment. It is not about dramatic gestures, but about consistent, thoughtful action. It is the courage to endure hardship without complaint, to act wisely when tested, and to remain true to your principles even when no one is watching. It is the courage that allows you to navigate life with strength, clarity, and dignity, creating a life that is meaningful, resilient, and deeply your own.